This is video for the CASE Introduction to Agriculture, Food, and Natural Resources course. As you view this video, be sure to make notes of important information. Feel free to pause, repeat, and resume the video whenever necessary. All in a Flower, Lesson 5.2, All About Plants. During Activity 5.2.1, Dissecting a Salad, you learned a bit about each plant part. The following presentation will delve deep into the flowering structures. For the plant, the purpose of the flower is to reproduce by developing viable seeds. To accomplish sexual reproduction, the plant will go through three major propagation processes. Pollination is the first step and requires the transfer of pollen from the male reproductive parts to the female reproductive parts. The second step, fertilization, involves uniting the pollen and the ovule cell. Last, the seed develops as the fertilized ovule cell divides into specialized tissues. Drawing and labeling the diagram by hand will help you remember the parts. It might also help to use different colors to highlight the different structures. Pause the video while you draw a flower and label the parts in your notes. Resume the video when you are finished. The parts and functions of the female flower parts are listed. The visible structure is called the pistil. The stigma catches the pollen, the style supports the stigma, and the ovary houses the ovules. Inside the pistil is the ovule, or egg cell, which develops into the seed after fertilization. Connected to each ovule is a pollen tube that transverses inside the style. You might also want to refer to the course glossary or a textbook for definitions with additional details. The male flower parts include the anther and the filament, which together make up the stamen. The anther produces pollen, while the filament supports the anther. Many flowers also have supporting parts such as petals. The whole group of petals is called the corolla. Petals are often the bright, colorful portion of the flower. Sepals are many small leaves that protect the flower bud before it opens. Collectively, the sepals make up the calyx. 4 types of flowers exist based on anatomy of reproductive structures. Complete have all the aforementioned flower parts. Incomplete flowers lack one or more of these parts. Flowers that simply have both male and female parts are called perfect. Imperfect flowers are either pistillate or staminate. Some flowers cannot produce seeds on their own. Other flowers contain all parts necessary for reproduction. As a review, mark or highlight 3 key points in your notes that are important to remember from this presentation. List 2 ideas or concepts that relate to previous knowledge. List any questions you have about this topic. Discuss these questions with your instructor. Keep any notes you have from this presentation organized and available for use throughout the course. Through Project 5.2.2 Build a Bloom, you will construct a model flower depicting all the parts of the complete flower in order to understand how flowers produce seeds for plant reproduction. Your teacher will provide more supplies and more instructions.